think she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with a no, it's top
I got that
notch.
check into golf. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a dub for a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check into golf. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call, for real. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here we go now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And right away, he lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And incomplete to open things up. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. A big play there for Detroit. And even 40 yards. See some heads shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
A toss play to Hunt. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll toss it to Hunt. Shoves him aside. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Matthew Stafford keeping it himself on the quarterback sneak. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 18 yards there and a first down.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he'll have to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, turning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On third down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays.
Geis with a carry on second down. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow.
Tavon Austin, he's going to go. 30, the 20, 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Tavon Austin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, and boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return that one.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no game, his guys will take that.
Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like...
There he goes, right side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A big play there out of Geis. 42 yards. Well, they were backed up deep in their own territory. Not anymore.
This works really well when you play a defense that's an attack type of defense that comes after you, wants the football. Sometimes you use their grip.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Here we go now. Blue Lightning.
On the handoff, it's Geis. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Got him, man, it's right. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They got to get after him one more time.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, still flag for not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Damon Harrison in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Lions. 47 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, go here. 4 down, tag 53.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford going to throw deep for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Second and 10, Stafford again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some damage?
And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted, and remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here. That's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. And here come the Redskins now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And that is incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Now Austin. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will take over. So here come the Lions now. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. Buying time to his left. Throwing deep. It's caught inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent... cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
And with a penalty flag down, they'll finally get him down. And now this becomes a very important
Face
call.
mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Stafford on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jerry Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters an open.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Austin. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play action. Stafford. And he's going to go down again.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
From his end zone, Stafford on 3rd and long. It's loose, the ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up a throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jerry Hughes in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And taken right at the 35. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs. Sure. Just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. Sometimes it's a quarterback making a great throw, and sometimes it's a receiver just making an incredible catch, and there it was really the latter.
And the quarterback is so happy because the receiver, in a sense, bailed him out. Great job going and getting the football and creating 6 points for his team.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
He'll drop to throw, and he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Set. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A nice gain of 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. Wasn't a ton of space, but a great move. He's able to work it to the 20-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up fourth down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. With things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. Team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who have been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Troy Apke. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his pass incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And his throw is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Back to throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The Redskins on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
This is Geis. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
Now let's go. Blue 90.
He'll get it up the middle. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And the Lions have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And Detroit getting set to go now. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Give the tackle there to Josh Norman. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Here's Stafford now on second down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And brought down. But not before they're inside the 25. They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Doxson with the grab over the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Josh Doxson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed. I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Set! Blue landed!
Looking to throw. And it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, able to avoid him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much.